Okay.
Switch both on. Switch.
Good morning, Mrs. Kakane. And,
Good morning, Chair.
good morning, Deputy Chief Dlamini.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Msegidi.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners.
I was saying I usually greet the lead.
Indeed so, Chair.
Thank you. Yes, Mrs. Kakane.
Chair, Advocate Musiki.
Oh.
Yes.
Kosia, you can't blame me. Only on the 27th, it was of March, it was my birthday, so I'm a year older. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Chair.
Can I place it on record that it was
Not-
Commissioner Baloy's birthday yesterday? I won't mention the numbers, but
Mr. Musigiri, apologies. I guess I'm
thank
used
you,
to Justice Kakane, you know. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Musigiri.
Good morning again, Chair and the Commissioners. Chair, today we have Deputy Commissioner Umashi Samson Dlamini to testify from the TMPD. Chair, if you could swear in the witness.
That's literally swearing as opposed to affirming.
Let me confirm if he's happy to.
Will you be swearing or affirming, Deputy Chief?
I'll swear, Commissioner.
Thank you. Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
I swear, Commissioner, that the evidence I'll be giving...
No, just say, "So help me God."
Yes, I swear, Commissioner.
Please say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you.
Yes, Chair, perhaps I was a bit ahead of myself, a bit of housekeeping issues. Mr. Dlamini will be testifying today on his statement, and then after that, only then we'll start asking probing questions. Mr. Dlamini does have long-standing commitments, so we cannot sit for the entire day today. We have tried to see how long we can stay, but at best, Chairperson, we cannot sit later than 12 o'clock with your permission, of course. And then we'll have to call him again, where he'll be asked probing questions. For the purpose of today, we'll try and limit our questioning to a clarity-seeking question on his statement, and then hopefully we'll get through till 12 o'clock, and then he'll come back, Chairperson.
Thank you. What I forgot, Deputy Chief, is to ask you to place your full names on record, please.
My full names are Umashi Samson Dlamini.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Mosigidi.
Chair, on that aspect, I'm not sure. I'll be guided by Chair if and when it will be an opportune time to take a tea break, if at all. I'll be in the Chair's hands.
Perhaps 10:30,
I'll
and then
that,
sit from 10:45 until 12 midday.
that seems to be practical, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. And lastly, Chair, Commissioner has submitted a statement which is in two parts, and Chair will see that from the layout of the statement, it's aligned with the questions that he received from the Commission, and we'll try and guide him through those questions as he answers as part of his statement. Commissioner Dlamini, can you then confirm that in front of you, you should have a file with your statement inside? If you open the very first page, it will say Statement of Umashi Samson Dlamini. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm it.
Yes. And then if you flip over, you'll see it will say page 1, and then it will say page 2.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes, I can
That's
see
where
that.
the statement starts. And then if you go to page 15, so if you look on the top right, there is a red marking. If you go to page 15,
Yes.
perhaps move to 14 instead. So that will be the end of that statement. Do you confirm that this is your statement?
Yes, I confirm.
And do you stand by the contents thereof?
Yes, I stand by the content of the statement.
And lastly, on very page 2, if you go again in front of the statement, there is a signature there. Can you confirm that you are the deponent?
I confirm that it is
and-
my signature.
Thank you so
on the
much.
Statement.
Thank you then. Can you again then, Commissioner, for the record, for the purpose of this statement, put your full names on record and then start reading through from paragraph 1 of that statement, Commissioner.
I am Umashi Samson Dlamini, do hereby make an oath and say, I'm an adult male and Deputy Chief of Police in the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality. I am responsible for the division, support and administration under the Metro Police Department. I think perhaps let me take the opportunity to just indicate some of the responsibilities that I'm responsible for under support and administration. I'll only touch on the pertinent points that might be relevant to the commission that have came out. The division, under the finance section has got a project management, that is contract management support, that supports other divisions in terms of ensuring that when they have contracts that they want to undertake with bid specifications, then after the bid specification, when the contract go to the BEC, the chief of police nominate people who sit at the BEC together with supply chain officials and other appointed people for the BEC. When the contract is awarded, we then prepare SLAs for those contracts. I'm raising this because it's pertinent, because as an end user department, we must be able to ensure that there's an SLA in place to manage that contract. So we assisted them in ensuring that SLAs are put in place, then it sends to the office of the chief, who then take it to group legal for confirming that the SLA complies with all the legal terms and so forth. Thereafter, it sends to the service providers, who also go through the SLA and confirm before signing in the SLA. I think I must also indicate that the city has further take this process further, that SLA currently they are being done electronically. The divisions on. We assist them with procurement plans. Every year there should be procurement plans that, we put forward, to ensure that, everything that it's done in the city, it's in line with the procurement plans. There are stage gates that you plan a project to say, it's at this stage gate before it can be funded. There's no way they can fund a project that you won't be able to spend on. So these are critical aspects that I'm bringing in, because they also touch to another part of, accounts payable, where invoices gets paid and so forth. I won't touch the entire structure. On accounts payable, every financial year when it starts, we get a budget indication. What we do if we have contract, I'll give a practical example of a SAPO SLA that we have for posting of infringement notices, because ARTO has given South African Post Office that authority to ensure that our infringement notices get sent through. We have an SLA with SAPO that, so because we have a budget on OPEX, we must create requisitions when the financial year starts, that we send through to supply chain management to create POs, because we don't know by then as to what will be the value of the invoice in July. So this becomes a blanket PO. So it debit against, that PO that we have created with supply chain. With contracts that we know to say these are the value of the contract, we create PO for the entire year. So that's the duty of accounts payable when it deals with that. We create requisitions, send them through to supply chain management to ensure that they create, purchase orders. Our budget is segmented on monthly quarters and so forth that we report on. So sometimes, let me say, for instance, we have a contract for animal care. You can't anticipate whether you'll have how many dogs that are sick and so forth. As a result, they render, veterinarians render the service, which is above, the amount perhaps that we have, because our budget is created on quotas and so forth. What we do, we increase the contract value so that we are able to process, those invoices that we have, with the view that we know that we'll have to balance the equation, because on a quarterly basis, or on issues of budget, to monitor the budget, the Group Financial Services has also developed memos that deals with each and every line item to say there's watchman, there is this line item and so forth, where we report on deviations. Whether over expenditure or under expenditure, you need to give reasons and mitigations. How are you gonna mitigate those over expenditure? So we do assist the divisions in that regard in managing, those kind of things. Why I indicate this, it's for instance, these two things need to be on the subsystem. The SLA must be loaded on the subsystem. The issue of the contract must be on the subsystem, the start date and the end date. So that when the divisions bring in invoices, that they have certified that work has been executed for processing purposes, we must be able to load that invoice so that supply chain will create a purchase order for that service. Then it comes back to the department for payment. In this instance, it comes to the director MAS, who's the cost center owner, to ensure that payment get released. So I'm just highlighting because these are issues that came out of the commission. These pertinent matters that have came out to say what are the responsibilities that I have. I'm also, I think, responsible also for issue of ensuring that on a quarterly basis, there are SDPIPs, Service Delivery Budget and Implementation Plan report that we must develop. SDPIP report covers issues like your targets, your milestone, what you have achieved, because these are things that we are measured on. We set targets and milestone every year. So we must report on a quarterly basis. It also includes, the budget report. How much have we spent? Where are the shortcomings? If they are under performance or over expenditure, how is it gonna be mitigated in that regard? So it's covered in the SDPIP, report. So much as I indicated on the deviation report that the finance department has done, are also responsible for, ensuring that, HR-related matters, issues of, recruitment and so forth. But that I'll outline is the director MAS who deals with that. Issues of grievances within the department, because he was delegated to ensure that he attend to grievances on behalf of the chief of police. And yes, we monitor these things. For instance, the city has got a policy to say invoices shouldn't stay for more than 30 days because there was a tendency of invoices lying somewhere while, the people are punishing either service providers or either we are engaging them to say, I can process this invoice and so forth. So there's a 30-day strict period to ensure that invoices get submitted, and they are being monitored through forums. There's what we call UIFW, unauthorized, irregular, fruitless expenditure meetings that are taking place, where we report on invoices, outstanding payment, and so forth. If they need to be reported. There's also Circular 113 that deals with issues of audit and so forth. Also invoices form part of that, of outstanding invoices. So in a nutshell, I just wanted to outline some of these functions because I think it came out of the commission.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Dlamini. Just to wrap up that aspect before we go to the heart of it. I understand that currently you are on suspension.
Yes.
Something that we will deal with later on. But what I need to understand, just your thought process, because what we came to understand is that you actually volunteered to be put on suspension. We will go to the reasons contained in your notice. Can you just give us an idea or the thought process as to why you volunteered to be put on suspension, which is quite unusual? Thank you.
Yes, I think when, on the 16th, when Sergeant Nkosi was testifying, there were WhatsApp messages that came out of the communication between myself and him and the CFO that emerged out of the commission. Then the next day, I sat with the chief to say, since there are these allegations, what is the city doing in terms of them? Couldn't get a straight answer. Then the 20th, I felt I can't be sitting at work. Everyone will come and ask, what is happening? You find yourself explaining. You go to a meeting, everyone asks you. Then I felt it might be good for me to request to be placed on precautionary suspension, perhaps up until either I get an opportunity to address some of those matters.
Okay, thank you. Can we then go to page 3?
Just out of curiosity, normally people ask to be placed on leave when they find themselves in that situation. How did you decide suspension instead of asking for leave?
The city doesn't have a policy for what we call special leave. Either you take leave or either, so I felt I can't deplete my leave days. I'll rather request, a suspension, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner Dlamini. If we go to page 3, under the topic overview, you've given us a nice synopsis as to your responsibilities and duties. Can we then pick it up from paragraph 6 instead?
Okay.
Dealing with the nature and extent of your relationship with Sergeant Nkosi. That was the question posed to you. So would you read the question and then read your response there too?
Yes.
Thank you.
The nature and extent of my relationship with Sergeant Nkosi and when and how did it commence? I have known Sergeant Nkosi from the early 90s while he was still attending school at Ntokozweni Primary School in Soshanguve. We come from the same neighborhood in Soshanguve. In 1996, I became actively involved in managing the family business, which was when I started having close interaction with Sergeant Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi used to frequent the business and he would volunteer to clean the vehicles and he would sometimes receive stipend for his efforts. Our relationship has grown since. I regard him as a family friend to the extent that our families chose me to lead a delegation that was sent to negotiate his lobola, which culminated in marriage. As indicated, in paragraph 7 above, our relationship remained that of brother to a point where when he faces life challenges, he is comfortable to engage with me on personal level, including marital advice as and when he encounters challenges.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to understand you then, you have known Sergeant Nkosi for at least 30 years, from what I can gather from that.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And then I see that you say you have become, or he has become, or both families have become quite acquainted.
That's correct.
Can I ask you, would that relationship extend to his other siblings, including Mr. Beki Nkosi?
I do engage with Fani when they have family challenges, marriages. We do intervene with my wife to do counseling and so forth.
And this would include Becky as well.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you so much.
correct.
Then let's move on to the next subtopic.
Explain the frequency or number of instances of my meetings and exchanges with Sergeant Kosi and the purpose of such meetings or interaction. Also indicate whether I have discussed or informed Sergeant Kosi of any matter relating to the City of Tshwane and Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department. If I have done so, to explain what the legitimate basis, if any, was for so doing. My communication with Sergeant Kosi is frequent and flows naturally as it will be between the brothers. It is impossible to keep records of how many times we have engaged on any particular topic. Our discussion encompasses many aspects not limited to a particular matter. The recent discussion, among others, were when he came to me and requested assistance in completing a tender document for his younger brother. I refused to assist Sergeant Kosi, and instead I advised that helping him with the request will amount to a conflict of interest. I referred Sergeant Kosi to Nico Matobela for assistance. I did so because Mr. Matobela is well vested with administrative matters.
And who exactly is Mr. Matobela?
Pardon, Commissioner?
Who exactly is Mr. Matobela?
Mr. Matobela, I knew Mr. Matobela when I was managing the family business. He used to assist us with, a document for buses and so forth, applications and so forth. He's not an employee of a city, he's someone from outside.
Thank you.
Commissioner, just to understand, we will get the dates as and when we look into your chats as to when this conversation happened. But for now, can you just confirm that this assistance of completing a tender document for his younger brother, will this relate to Ngapesheya Security Services?
That's correct.
Then we can move on.
If I have received any payment or benefit from Sergeant Kosi, whether directly or indirectly, whether I have received payment from a third party through Sergeant Kosi, I want to put it on record that I have never received any payments nor benefit from Sergeant Kosi, whether directly or indirectly, nor received payments from a third party through him or anyone else. If I have met Sergeant Kosi in the presence of Mr. Mpho Lekukela, if so, what was the purpose of such meetings? Did the meeting relate to the business of the City of Tshwane or the Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department? I have never met Sergeant Kosi in the presence of Mr. Mpho Lekukela for any reason whatsoever.
But you will accept that you would know Mr. Lekukela?
Mr. Lekukela, I know him as he was an employee, I think, of the city. I've never had any relations with him.
That's precise, yes. Please continue, Commissioner.
Here, I think were the matters.
Maybe I should say this to you. In terms of this topic, in fact, please don't read to the record. The topic there, it ought not to have been asked of you to comment on this. And for the record, I want you to skip paragraph 17 to 28 because it deals with issues that are not relevant, at least for the purpose of this commission. So please disregard that, and then we'll move to paragraph 29 instead. On the next page, page 6.
If I have ever met or interacted with Mr. Josie Banyoni, Mr. Vusi Matlala, and Mr. Mandla Mngina, and to provide full details of the meetings, interactions, including details of those present at each and the location and the purpose of each such meetings. I have never met, interacted with Mr. Josie Banyoni, Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala, and Mr. Mandla Mncina for whatsoever reasons.
Do you know of them, though? Any of those individuals?
The one that I know, I've never met with him, it's Mr. Josie Banyoni. He used to work with my brother in the taxi industry when they were establishing Salta. They were together in the taxi industry. That's the only person that I know.
But you never met him?
I've never met with him.
Yeah.
I don't know them.
Thank you.
Indicate whether I have any interest.
So just
Sorry.
last question.
Yeah, sorry.
Because you did mention in the beginning about the business, and now you just mentioned again the taxi business. Are you still in the taxi business? Are you in the taxi business?
It's the family that is in the taxi business.
So
It's
the
a
family is still
family
in it.
business.
Thank you. We can proceed.
Indicate whether I have any interest in or relationship with any of the following companies or close cooperation, whether directly or indirectly, or any other shareholders and directors. Kubi's 85 Solution, I don't have any interest or relationship, whether directly or indirectly, with any of their shareholders or directors. Ngapesheya Construction and Project, I don't have any interest in the company directly or indirectly. However, I know Peggy Nkosi as a younger brother to Sergeant Nkosi. Triotic Protection Services, I don't have any interest in the company or relationship directly or indirectly. 2Corp Insecurity Services, I don't have any interest in the company or relationship directly or indirectly. Vimtsiri Security and Protection Services, I don't have any interest in the company or relationship directly or indirectly. El Shaddai Security Services, I don't have any interest in the company or relationship directly or indirectly. Any other bidder in
Before you continue, I just want us to get some clarity on 3 companies. Let's start with Ngapesheya. Part of the question is that, do you have any relationship with their shareholders or directors? And perhaps extend to employees by virtue. Would you accept that for a moment that you do have at least a relationship with Ngapesheya through Peggy Nkosi, because you did consider him as at least close family member?
I think I indicated that I know him as a younger brother, but I don't have interest in the company directly or indirectly that perhaps I benefit financially, but I do know Peggy Nkosi.
Yes, no, we're not
Yes,
asking that. We're saying at least there is a relationship there.
Yes.
And if there was to be evidence that Sergeant Nkosi was doing some work for Ngapesheya, would you also accept that on that score, you would also have a relationship with someone who, if there is evidence, who also does some work for Ngapesheya?
Yes.
Thank you. And then the next company there, it's Triotic Protection Services. I think it's an open secret that it is somehow, or it was somehow, linked to one Mr. Bonzo Mudise.
Yes.
I think his middle name is Eugene.
Yes.
And I don't want to take it further than that. The only question I want to ask you is that, do you have any relationship or interaction with Mr. Mudise?
It's only when we go to MACO meetings that I'll meet him, but I don't have any relationship or interactions with him, Mr. Mudise.
Okay, thank you. And then the last company there would be, that I want us to discuss, would be the very last one, Al Shaddai Security Services. You have testified that you don't have any relationships.
Yes.
Would that extend to the employees of Al Shaddai
Yes.
and former employees?
Yes.
Okay. Then can we move to the next topic?
Before we move, can you just expand on 31.1, Commissioner? Good morning. Because all you say there is you have no interest in the company directly or indirectly. However, I know Bheki Nkosi as a younger brother of Sergeant Nkosi. So what does that have to do with Ngapesheya? Did you know that Mr. Bheki Nkosi is the owner or has interest in Ngapesheya?
Yes, Commissioner. Sergeant Nkosi approached me to assist him, as I indicated earlier on,
Assist with what?
with tender document.
For Ngapesheya?
Yes.
And he told you that it's his brother's company?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Commissioner Dlamini, we can then move on, pick it up from the very last topic on page 8.
Okay. Any other bidder in respect of tender TMPD 02-2016-17, TMPD 01-24-25, and TMPD 03-24-25. I don't have any interest or relationship, whether directly or indirectly, with any other bidder in respect of tender TMPD 02-26-17, TMPD 1-24-25, and TMPD 3-24-25.
Okay, please move on.
In relation to the above, to provide full details of the following: whether I have had any interaction with the shareholders, members or directors of Gubi's 85 Solution Pty, and any other bidder. If so, provide details including the names of such person, the dates, place and purpose of such meetings or interactions. The interactions I had with director of Gubi's 85 was when Mr. Kane Mpofu of Supply Chain Management invited me to a meeting at his office. However, I cannot recall the date of the meeting, but it was around March 2025. The meeting was attended between Mr. Mahlangu and Mr. Kwadi of Gubi's 85 Solution and Mr. Mpofu and myself. The meeting was called because Mr. Mahlangu raised concern with outstanding payments relating to his company.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just to clarify, this meeting, you were invited by Mr. Kane Mpofu.
That's correct.
And then your answer to the question is that you've never set up or had any contact with anyone from Gubi's to set up a meeting.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Deputy Commissioner, we've come to know that there's a difference between services that were, the regular services that were provided and ad hoc services,
Yes.
all arising from the same tender contract.
Yes.
This meeting and issues about payment,
Yes.
what did it relate to, the delayed payments? Was it ad hoc services or the regular contract services?
It was on ad hoc services, Commissioner, that we attended on March. I think it will be explained later on. They were owed for a period of 6 months, starting from July 2024 up to December 2024, when that complaint came. And I think there was an outstanding invoice that was of a previous financial year for May. So this meeting was all about it, to say how are they gonna get paid that invoice that is outstanding for the month of May, which was never paid to them.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr.
Commissioner,
Secretary.
documents relating to that specific meeting, do you have them?
I don't have document relating to that specific meeting, Commissioner.
I will tell you how it will assist. The witness we had yesterday also spoke about outstanding invoices from 2024. But we are still not clear who had requested those services from Gubis. So perhaps if we could get those documents relating to 2024 ad hoc services and invoices,
Okay.
it will assist us. So if you can please search for them. If they are not there, they are not there. But if you are able to find them, can you please make them available to the Commission?
They will be there, Commissioner, because we load them on a subsystem. I'll request that we get them. I only have a spreadsheet of the payment of companies that were owed starting from July 2024 to December.
Yeah, only this one. And what we are looking for is the letter requesting Gubis to provide the ad hoc services in 2024.
The letter we didn't have because it's not within my environment to deploy them.
Yes.
What we do, we process invoice as received from a division that has verified that services were rendered accordingly signed off by that division.
So all those documents, if you have them or you are able to find them.
Yes,
If
the
they are not there, they are not there, it's fine.
the invoices are there.
Commissioner, then, just to wrap up this point. So the upshot of it is that you were invited to this meeting to deal with issues relating to late payments or non-payments of Gubis invoices.
Yes.
Just tell us, what was the outcome of that meeting, just briefly?
The outcome of that meeting, I indicated to them to say the May invoice, there's no way in which it can be processed from my section. It's of a previous financial year. The division concerned need to put in a report for post facto in order for that invoice to be paid, which must be approved by the city manager. Which goes with consequence management because, it's of a previous financial year. It will create audit issues, for the city. So that's what I indicated to them. And I also indicated to them to say, initially when they started issues of, raising concerns around payments and so forth, I advised Mr. Mpofu to say, these were taken with the CFO, and it might not be proper for us at that level as junior officials to the CFO to engage on these matters. So I then advised that they must then take these matters up with the CFO where they've started.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next topic.
Giving details whether I have assisted directly or indirectly any bidder in respect of tenders TMPD 2 2016-17, TMPD 1 24-25, and TMPD 3 24-25. I have not assisted directly or indirectly any bidder in respect of tender TMPD 2 2016-17, TMPD 1 24-25, and TMPD 3 24-25.
Yeah, move on.
Whether I have influenced, facilitated the payment of any service provider, in particular Gubis 85 Solution Ltd. I have not influenced the payment of any company, including Gubis 85. I attach herein the source of the complaint, which is reflected in the trail of emails from February 25, marked as Annexure F, my involvement in the case of Gubis 85 Solution and others, came later following the request by the CFO concerning the outstanding invoices, which were due for a period of 6 months. See Annexure G, the spreadsheet of those invoices. Furthermore, I should indicate that prior to the receipt of the request by the CFO, I dealt with another request which came on the 28th February 25 from various service providers. See attached WhatsApp communication from the management group marked as Annexure H.
Commissioner, before we go to the next page, you had made reference to 3 documents, Annexure F, G, and H. Can we start with Annexure F? You will see that it says, it's on page 145. It will say Annexure F, email of outstanding invoices. Is this the annexure you're referring the commission to, which starts on page 146?
Yes.
Is there anything on that annexure that maybe without reading the entire document that you would like to highlight to the commission?
Yes, I want to indicate that this is the complaint that I think came through. I think the annexures might have been put. Otherwise, I'm not sure if this is the correct annexure, because the annexure that dealt with this matter emanate as far as February the 7th. I'm not sure on my file where the company was complaining, and in any of their complaint, I think I was not, included nor CC'd in any of the complaint that they've been raising and so forth. So I think the annexures might,
Perhaps let's do this. I have gone through your statement. I know you make reference to the email of the 7th of February, but I have not seen it. The email there that's referred to on Annexure F, it's an email that was sent in March. So what we can do, Commissioner, perhaps what we can do is that annexure is not here. Perhaps when you come back, let's put a note that you can bring that email, because the reference there is a different conversation on a different date. Do you accept that at least?
I accept. I
Then we
have
can
it
fix
in
it.
my file. It might have been.
Yes. No, I've also looked for it. I could not locate it.
Yes.
And then there's Annexure G that appears on page 149. And it will say outstanding invoices, list of companies. I don't invite you to read those companies, but is there anything specific that you want to draw the Commission's attention to on that list? It's a very long list.
Yes, the specific thing is that these are invoices that were outstanding from July 2024, to January 2025 of companies. I want to draw specific attention to the Commission because this matter came on the Commission. That invoices for the entire 6 months were amounting to a total of these companies to 14 million for the entire 6 months of ad hoc services that the complaint came. And I think this is what I want to draw the attention of the Commission to, so that when we come to the email where I was writing, sensitizing them to say, but these invoices for February and March have now grown to an extent that now the company must be paid 14 million. Deal with this matter or engage the sister department. It was taken that I was influencing someone to go and seek money and all those kind of things. But I was just trying to indicate, to say, my division gave me the spreadsheet to say invoices for July to December. This is the spreadsheet as and when they were processed. Then January, February, March comes invoices for January and February with a total change figure of one invoice, amounting to 14 million. It is within my responsibilities to alert them to say, this has grown so much, investigate this, deal with this matter.
Perhaps just for clarity, can you just reconcile this for me? On page 150, right on top it says recon for Watchman Services, Water and Sanitation. And then it gives the dates, and then after that it says Asset Protection Unit, TMPD, and then it says January Security Service ad hoc. So the document on 150 mentions both Watchman Services and ad hoc. Can you just reconcile that for us?
Yes, these were ad hoc services that were deployed by the Division Assets and Protection for 3 companies, Triotic Protection Services, Mkhwanazi Security Services, which for 2 companies it amounted to
yes, so
2.8.
What I just need clarity on, Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner?
Yes.
The clarity I need is on top when it mentions Watchman Services. So we should take this is strictly for ad hoc. Is
Yes.
that what you're conveying to us?
Yes, it's
That's all
strictly
I
for
need.
ad hoc.
Okay, then I'll
Yes.
note that. All right. Can we then go to the last annexure that we make reference to at page 42? That one appears on page 152.
Yes.
Now, this is annexure H. It says management group WhatsApp communication, non-payment of service providers. And it goes on, the actual content is on page 153. Is there anything that you need to highlight on those WhatsApp chats? And while doing that, can you just explain what is the EMM information group?
The EMM is an executive management group that we have for the Chief of Police and his deputy chief. So I'm saying I was just demonstrating to say I do receive such complaint. That was not a peculiar complaint that I received to deal with those outstanding invoices for July to December. There was a complaint prior to me receiving that request from the CFO that came, to the chief and asked to say, these companies were not paid, can they be attended to? So it's not, because as I indicated earlier on the structure, to say they don't come to me, they go, when invoices come, they go to accounts payable. That's where we have admins, senior admins, and so forth. They have a functional head, a deputy director who deals with them. I wouldn't be aware if there were outstanding invoices until of recent, where the city have established the UIFW workstream meetings and the Circular 113, where these things get reported, where I attend to.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can you then go back to your statement? I want you to pick it up from when you look at the top red number, the top right with the red number. It will be page 9.
Yes.
Before you do that, in that page 8, at paragraph 41 and 42, where you refer to requests from the Chief Financial Officer,
Yes.
those requests were directed to you.
The Chief Financial Officer called me while he was with Sergeant Gosi on the 4th of March, requesting me to say there are outstanding invoices that Mr. Mpofu can't get it right in ensuring that they are being paid, and the companies are threatening to go to court.
Okay.
Can I intervene and assist in that regard?
Okay, so it was a telephone call between you and the Chief Financial Officer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Malui. Can you then, so we'll deal with those chats later on. Can we then go to the next page? Then that will be page 9.
Okay. I just want to indicate that it is a common practice that such matters will be brought to my office for intervention and not, to influence payment or whatsoever in that regard. I wish to refute the impression which is created that I am involved in the business of influencing or facilitating payment. The statement is not true, and I say this because I am the divisional head, support and administration. I think I've explained around accounts payable, what are their functions and so forth. And it enjoins us to comply with strict time limit and to pay invoices within 30 days of the invoice date. That's what my communication on financial matters is mistakenly inferred to as having an influence when in actual fact it is sacrosanct to my daily work as the Deputy Chief Support and Administration. It cannot be said that I am influencing anyone when my position and my work is centered around managing the financial business side of the department. I attach here on the organogram and demonstrate that I am the relevant and competent person who holds the office that address the finances as alluded in Annex D organogram.
Deputy Commissioner, you make reference to that Annex I. Do you want to say anything about that TMPD organogram, or can we pass?
We
it
can
appears
pass.
on 155.
We can pass, Commissioner. I think I've indicated the most pertinent matters around finance, accounts payable, the contract management, and so forth, so that when we come to those things, I can explain them.
Okay, maybe then before you move on, Commissioner, the very first sentence on paragraph 43, would it not be correct, though, to say that you are involved in the business of facilitating payments in one way or the other as part of your duties?
I am involved, Commissioner, but I'm not influencing this person. I only come as an intervention when there are complaints that are raised through to my office.
So at least on that sentence, can we then divorce influencing and keep facilitating? Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I just to clarify my confusion? So you say you get involved because the CFO calls you.
Yes.
About this, and that's how you become involved.
Yes.
Can you then just explain the annexures, how then they come into the picture? The annexures in 146, I think that's annexure F, and then you've given us G, you've also given us H. How that relates, if at all, to the CFO calling you to assist with payments? Because the way that I had read it was that your annexures F, G, H are what comes out of the CFO's request to you to assist him. And that is evidence of it, those annexures. So if you can just explain them, because it doesn't seem like they're in any way related.
Okay, cool. On annexure, Commissioner, on annexure G, it was the spreadsheet of all the outstanding invoices for starting July 24 up until December. I was just attaching them to say this is the request that emanated from the request from the monies that were owed from the CFO for those companies for a period of 6 months. And on the annexure H, I was just demonstrating to say these are the requests, they do come. It's not something, out of the equation that I've done when I was helping with the payment when the CFO, said the companies were not paid. I was just demonstrating with the communication from the management WhatsApp group on Annexure G.
Okay, so Annexure G has nothing to do with the CFO's
No,
request
it has got
that you're
nothing to do with the
discussing.
CFO. I was just emphasizing to say, as the divisional head, I do get this request to intervene if payments were not done or companies are complaining.
Okay. And what about Annexure F? What is Annexure
The Annexure F, as the evidence leader indicated, it was a trail of email that I wanted to demonstrate that this complaint came from February. I was never included on the emails. I mean, there were people who were included in those emails, I think, who are within the department and never acted on that. I just wanted to demonstrate to say, I only became aware when I was called by the CFO to say there are outstanding invoices within the department.
Okay. But they have nothing to do with the call from the CFO?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps just to seek further clarity, remember you had testified earlier on that when you met with Khwadi, Mahlangu, and Mbofu, and they raised the issues of non-payments,
Yes.
you then ultimately referred them to the CFO's office
Yes.
to deal with this.
Yes.
Then is it your evidence that later on then the CFO reverted to you with the same problem to say you must deal with it? I'm just trying to understand the chain of events. So remember that this meeting with the
Yes.
tree was in March.
Yes.
So the requests from the CFO, when would those have been?
It came before the request of the meeting. After we have resolved their payment for 6 months, they then later on requested a meeting to deal with the outstanding invoices for May that I indicated to say it will amount to a post facto thing.
Okay. I think we have to then move to paragraph 45 on page 9.
Whether I have influenced or directed the allocation of work by the City of Tshwane or the Tshwane Metro Police Department to any of the service providers, including that to Gubi's 85 solution. My subordinate section in the Support and Administration Division include Administration Bureau, Policing Logistics Support, Internal Affairs, Management Administration Support, and Ceremonial and Employee Wellness. As I attach there, the security falls under Deputy Chief Assets Protection and Security Services. The deployment of security guards to various sites is the responsibility of the Deputy Chief concerned. I could have not influenced or directed the allocation of work to any service provider. Otherwise, the statement suggests that I had swayed the Deputy Chief APS or his subordinates to bend the rules, and I deny the narrative is incorrect.
Deputy Chief,
Yes.
it seems to me that you are answering this question on the assumption that everything would have been happening the way it should. I think the subtext of what's being addressed here or asked here is, or rather concerns impropriety. So can you answer the question in the context of that? Because somebody acting improperly would exactly have wanted to do things in a manner that would not come to the attention of, for example, in this instance, the Deputy Chief APSS.
Thanks.
Now, you are talking as if everything was going the way it should. Maybe it was, but the subtext is that it was not. So can you answer the question in that context?
Thanks, Commissioner. It does happen, as I'm saying. There's no way I will give an instruction to someone who's not my subordinate to do anything. For instance, yes, there were things that protecting Piri, will deal with that. I've never worked with Piri. I don't know him, which intake does he belongs to. I can't, even if I could have met him, I couldn't point to say this is Piri or whatsoever the case it might be. Things, commissioners, are happening as per structure in terms of, deployment and so forth. Yes, there are anomalies that happened, but I have never influenced, the deployment of any other, security company or any other person within the department.
Thank you. Let's take the adjournment and resume at 5 to 11. Let's adjourn. Yes, Mr. Musigidi.
Thank you, Chair. Deputy Commissioner Dlamini, can we then pick it up from paragraph 49 on page 10?
Explain my involvement in the payment of GUBI's 85 solution, in particular in respect of ad hoc security services, in respect of tender TMPD 2 2016-17. I was requested by the CFO to assist in resolving outstanding payment of GUBI's 85 and the others. I then inquired within my section and discovered that indeed there were outstanding invoices for a period of 6 months. The outstanding payment were not only GUBI's 85, it included other service providers which were also not paid. Annexure G, Annexure F emails of ad hoc that I've attached.
Yeah, we already visited
Yes.
those annexures, so perhaps let's proceed to paragraph 50.
Deputy Commissioner, we've had the name, I think he's a director, Nwandule. Or
Yes.
something. Where does he fit in when you are assisting with this in terms of structure? Is he in your office? Is he in your unit? Just explain where he fits in.
Director Nandule is my subordinate. He reports to me. He's responsible for finance.
And perhaps to round off the point, when you said paragraph 49, I was requested by the CFO, this would be the WhatsApp, or at least the telephone conversations where Mr. Nkosi was
Yes.
also referred to there.
Yes,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Then can we pick it up from paragraph 50?
The reason or purpose of your discussion of procurement matters with Sergeant Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi requested assistance with list of bidders. We did not have any discussion on procurement matters. I have shared the 2 documents with him, which are administrative records. These are closing out the reports after the tender has closed, relating to bids and their pricing, which are available. They get published or for every bidder to see them. I've attached such as Annexure J.
Just to understand, Deputy Commissioner Dlamini, you earlier testified, I think at paragraph 13 of your statement, that Sergeant Nkosi approached you with what we at least agreed to a tender process where Ngapesheya wanted to but paragraph 50, there's a separate request. Can you explain exactly what this request entailed? Because you simply say that he requested assistance with list of the bidders. What is the net effect of that if you're assisting him with the list?
He indicated that he wanted to verify in both instances that whether his brother has tendered the bid or what.
So for now, we can say at least he is advancing the interest of Ngapesheya.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Commissioner. Is that correct, Commissioner?
And lastly, did you duly comply with the request?
Yes, I did forward him those lists.
Just understand, you say these documents were available, public documents, and you refer us to Annexure J. When you say they were available public documents, on which platform, which public platform are they available at the time when you provide to Sergeant Nkosi?
They usually publish them, Commissioner, on e-tender for Tshwane. So they close out the report, they put them there because when the tender closes, any bidder can request the pricing of those bidders and so forth. But due to administration, sometimes delay of a lot of tenders, it gets done later on.
Okay. And that closing that you're referring to, that is before, you say it's a close-up report or something, closing reports?
It's
you
close
say?
out the reports, yes. So
This is before the BEC and BAC processes
it's before
have
the
happened.
BEC and the BAC processes take place.
Okay, all right. So if anyone went onto the website, they would find, after the closing date,
Yes.
they would find this document that you have attached as Annexure J. Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yes, correct, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Just to understand, Commissioner Dlamini, remember the first approach when they came to you said, and I think you used the word that you refused to assist them.
Yes.
Now, with the benefit of hindsight, when this request came from Sergeant Ngosi, would it not have been prudent for someone who has outright refused to get involved to say to him, either one, speak to Beggy, who is a director or owner, to use the word loosely, of Ngapesheya, or to simply direct him to where he can obtain this information?
He indicated that he can access it on himself, so, and requested me if I can forward those to him. So it was not in assisting with the tender. Or anything, because I knew these are public documents that are there.
All right, can we then move to paragraph 51.1?
Whether I have discussed payment and allocation of work to Gubi's 85 solution with Sergeant Gosi or any other person who are not employees of City of Tshwane and the Tshwane Metro Police Department. I have never discussed any payment with Sergeant Gosi. I only responded to the CFO inquiries which were made through Sergeant Gosi. The allocation of work is the responsibility of APSS as addressed before. So I was just responding to the CFO because he made inquiries through Sergeant Gosi after he spoke to me.
Commissioner, the document which is annexure.
Any contact of the CFO.
What is the plausible reason why you could not at least do it directly with the CFO, this communication?
I never had the CFO's contact.
Albeit you say that it was, for now, say it was public information, but you have shared.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry, it's not just, you say you've shared that public information.
Yes, Commissioner.
But you also say, I understand you to be saying that you have shared information with Sergeant Nkosi, but it was intended for the CFO. Because that must be so. You have City of Tshwane information that you say is intended for the CFO, but it goes to Sergeant Nkosi. So there was sharing of information with an outsider. For the reason that you give. You give a reason why it went to Nkosi. But Nkosi is not in Tshwane, so.
Yes, the
He is
CFO
innocent.
inquired through Nkosi. I just passed the message through Nkosi to the CFO.
I think what I'm trying to get to without creating or expecting it to be a debate is that you were providing information to Nkosi. You have an explanation, you give an explanation. You say, in fact, that information was for the CFO.
Yes.
But it was given to Nkosi, who is external to Tshwane. I just wanted to be clear about that. Because that will be a subject of debate with you when you come back. I just wanted it to maybe let me rephrase it this way, that my discussion with you will be that you did share information with an outsider. Your answer is, well, it was meant for the CFO. That's what I will be debating with you.
It's noted, Commissioner.
Perhaps with that in mind, when you come back, something to ponder about, Commissioner Dlamini. And the essence of it is this, is that with information, because it's a consumable, once you receive it, whether it's intended for you or not, you have consumed that information, whether you pass it or not. It's not an item as me passing you a cell phone to pass on to a third party, and then we leave it like that and we take it on face value that it was just sharing off, or at least passing off of an item, and information was consumed, even if it was not intended at the end of the day to land with that person. It was conveying the message. So think about what I'm saying to you. Then when you come back, as Commissioner Baloyi said, it is something that we can debate on.
Okay.
Thank you. While we're there, can we then move on to the next paragraph?
The reason for me to discuss matters relating to procurement of the City of Tshwane and the TMPD, particularly in relation to TMPD 2 2016-17, TMPD 1 24-25, and TMPD 3 24-25 with Sergeant Nkosi. Also provide who issued written instruction to deploy other guards beyond his mandate. I think when this is piece indicated in the commission that I blocked a report for a full year that seeks to investigate Sergeant Phiri, which was sent to me in 2025, and the report only emerged now March 2026 after he made inquiries about the whereabouts of that report. And I think I wanted to bring to the commission that I'm not sure whether that was misinformation given to the commission. No, it was a deliberate effort, perhaps to tarnish me in the commission that I've blocked this report. I've attached an annexure.
It's on page 195.
Yes, I've attached that as an annexure to show that the report that it is alleged that I sat with it for the entire year, it's not true and correct. Because Director Minares, it was indicated that he reports to me under internal affairs, and he came to me to indicate that, he was given a mandate by the Deputy Chief Spies to investigate the Inspector Piri around the deployment of ad hoc services. As a courtesy, because he reports to me, Deputy Chief Spies never came to me. He went direct to Director Minar. Director Minar, on 29 July 2025, he sends a report. He told me that this is the situation. I said, because you got an instruction, execute it nonetheless. And on 29 July, he sends a report to say, I'm done with the report. This is the report I'm forwarding to DCSPs. If you look at the report, it's on 1951. It's clearly addressed, to Deputy Chief of Police, APPU, to take note of the report. The underneath signature there is that of Director Minar. Which was not meant, he just said, take note, I'm done with this report, I'm sending it to DCSPs just for cognizance purposes. Because one, they are in any environment, there'll be work politics that are taking place, which I don't think it's for the purpose of this commission. So then, DCSPs comes and just indicate on the emails. It doesn't show the content of that email to say to whom was the letter addressed to and to whom is it coming to. He indicates that I've blocked that report that was supposed to have gone a year before to deal with Sergeant Piri. So I wanted to deal with that assertion that it was incorrect, that's misinformation. I'm not sure whether why the DCSPs, indicate, such information which is not truthful to the commission that I blocked the report, because that was not meant for me. That report was sent to him by Director Minar. And because I've told all my subordinates to say, if they are being given job work, either by the chief or by any other person, let them execute it so that we don't avoid putting them at a corner to say, who gave you this work? Why are you doing it without me sanctioning such a work and so forth? Because employees get caught up in the battle of, the seniors, which becomes unfair for them. So I tell them, if the chief calls you to his office, you go there. If he gives you task, you execute. Just for courtesy, if you alert me, it's fine. Even if you don't, it's okay. If it's not meant for my eyes, it's even fine with that one. So much as I'm saying, I wanted to address that it was incorrect, that it was misinformation, that I blocked a report seeking to deal with Sergeant Piri.
So internal affairs falls under you?
Yes, Commissioner.
Minar reports to you?
Yes.
And before this report could go to Spies, it had to come to you?
He brought it for just to take note that he's done with the report.
But do you sign it off to say it can be sent to Spies? How does it work?
I don't have to sign it. His signature.
No, not sign it. Sign off.
I told him he can forward it. The report is fine.
So you were satisfied with the content of the report?
Yes.
And you said he can give it to Spies?
Yes. He is a good person. Unfortunately, I can't speak bad about Danny Minar. He does do a lot of things that are not meant to be coming to me, but he informs me just for courtesy purposes.
Would you then, Commissioner Dlamini, check if you have that email where you did say you can send it off, or at least you've signed it off?
We spoke. He sent it. He came to my office. We spoke about
It was verbal.
Yes.
And according to you then, from that moment on, you were not expected to do anything further?
Yes,
that
I was
fair
not
understanding?
expected to do anything further. Remember, he went directly to Director Minar to instruct him to do that. He never came to me.
All right, can you move then to paragraph 2 on page 13?
Yes, the second assertion which was made by DCSP is that I have influenced the extension of the security tender through the CFO. It's incorrect. I was requested by the Chief of Police to intervene after the extension report was presented by Director Nwandule, which was not approved by the BAC. I have attached annexures, annexure N of the extension report and the request that was made by the Chief of Police and the WhatsApp group management, where the city manager was saying the security tender is coming to an end and he hasn't seen any extension report in his office. That's when I intervened, because a report which was not, according to BAC standard, was presented at the BAC without indicating, because MFMA requires that when you do an extension, you need to take the total value of the contract and indicate the threshold that is required for the extension of that contract, which was not part of the report. There were no SLAs that were attached to that thing. So I only facilitated and assisted as requested by the Chief of Police to assist Director Nwandule and DC Police with that report, because by then DC Police was the one who was heading Assets Protection Unit. So I assisted them in the report to ensure that the extension report get presented. So he comes and say, I extended the report to the CFO. The CFO approved because I have an interest of ensuring that Gubis continue to benefit, which is a total lie, because after this 4 months extension, he also acquired other extension, 2 or so of the extension of the same tender. But he comes and say, I needed to benefit certain companies, which is not factual and it's not true.
Thank you. We then move on to the second part of your statement. Can you then go to page 17, 17?
Yes.
And again, do you still confirm that the statement there too, which is 12 pages long, is your statement?
Correct, Commissioner.
Do you still stand by the contents thereof?
Yes, correct.
And lastly, do you confirm the signature on page 17 to be your signature?
I confirm.
Thank you. Then, because we've dealt with issues relating to your responsibilities, I think let's pick it up on page 18 at paragraph 6.
Yes. It is alleged that you have a personal relationship with Sergeant Nkosi. As a result of the relationship, it is further alleged that you assisted bidders in winning tenders, in that you had conversation with Sergeant Nkosi about Ngapesheya security, wherein Sergeant Nkosi admit he approached you for assistance in a bid for his brother, the owner of Ngapesheya services, had with the city, and you referred him to an expert of tenders. I consider Sergeant Nkosi as a younger brother. I have dealt with the question of my relationship in the first statement in paragraph 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the notice addressed to me, dated 27 March 2026, in terms of, the regulation as indicated here. It is not true that I have assisted any bidder in winning tenders. I actually refused to assist and preferred instead to refer Sergeant Kosi to Mr. Matobela, who I thought could be of assistance. The reason why I referred Sergeant Kosi instead of personally assisting him with his request would have amounted to a conflict of interest. I referred Sergeant Kosi to Mr. Matobela to help him with his request. I did so because Mr. Matobela is well vested with administrative matters. I have never said he is a tender expert as testified before the commission.
Okay, proceed.
You further leaked confidential and sensitive information regarding the tenders and companies that have sent bids to Sergeant Kosi, in that you sent him a WhatsApp message confirming the 2 vehicles for land, meaning the tender for land Angapesheya and El Shaddai. In addition, you further provided him with a list of 7 other companies who are supposed to get the tender as per alleged communication with people purporting to represent the EFF, and you requested that Sergeant Kosi to check with via Mr. Mnisi and Mr. Julius Malema if those 7 companies are the correct companies that EFF want to get tenders. There were no confidential or sensitive information that I have leaked from the city. The information that I sent to Sergeant Kosi, which included the 2 names of the companies, came from Mr. Matobela and not from the city. I was literally confirming that the 2 companies would be preferred. It was a choice of words from Mr. Matobela to refer to these companies as vehicle, which I adopted in relaying the message to Sergeant Kosi.
Maybe I misheard. I heard you say I was literally confirming instead of I was not literally confirming. But as I say, I may have misheard you.
I was not literally confirming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. I had a visit to my office by Mr. Muzi and Sipo. The 2 I know from student movement in the late 80s, who claimed to have met with the CFO and gave him 7 names of the security companies. I then requested Sergeant Kosi to verify with the CFO the story, and only to discover that it was not true.
Not probing at this stage, but can you explain why you did this via Sergeant Kosi and not inquire directly from the CFO?
I know Sergeant Kosi to be having a relationship with Mr. Mnisi. I did not have the contact details for Mr. Mnisi.
You work in the same, you work for the same institution, the City of Tshwane, Deputy Chief.
Through Commissioner, I don't have most of the group heads' contact details.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Before you move on, you make reference to the 2 gentlemen, Muzi and Sipo. Can you provide us with their full names?
I know Muzi as Muzi Mazibugo, but Sipo, I don't know his surname. I was close to Muzi during student movement. They came, the 2 of them.
But you knew this guy from the 80s?
Yes.
Both of them?
Both of them.
And almost 40 years later, you say you don't know Sipo's...
I don't know his surname. I know him as Sipo, yes. Muzi, we were at school together.
Okay.
Same school together.
paragraph 13, I'm not sure that I understand it. You say the two companies should be, I was not literally confirming the two companies should be preferred. It was a choice of words from Mr. Matobela to refer these companies as vehicles. Can you just explain that? That sentence doesn't make sense to me, because the first time we encounter Mr. Matobela, and I'm not probing, I just want to make sure that I understand what you're conveying here. The first time we encounter the name of Mr. Matobela in your statements,
Yes.
it's that he's an administrative, someone knowledgeable
Yes.
in administrative matters,
Yes.
and that's why you referred Mr. Nkosi
Yes.
to him so that he could assist with the
Yes.
tender documents of Ngapesheya. Now you mention him. Can you just explain the context in which you are now mentioning him in paragraph 13? What he wrote to you, he called you, he met you, he mentioned two companies. Who are those companies? Just expand on this so that it makes sense.
Sergeant Nkosi requested me earlier on to ask Mr. Matobela to say which companies did he assist in terms of compilation, that he has done the compilation of their document. Then I could not find Mr. Matobela by then. And later on, I went back to Sergeant Nkosi to say I apologize for the delay after I got hold of Mr. Matobela. And then to say he gave me these names of bidders that he has assisted.
So when Sergeant Nkosi made the inquiry with you, he did not give you names. He just gave you a general question.
Yes.
Ask Matobela, which
Yes.
companies did he assist
Yes.
with tenders?
Yes.
Did he explain why he was asking that question? Or did you ask him, why are you asking me that kind of general question?
I took it that because I referred him to Mr. Matobela to assist Becky.
Okay, thank you.
I am tempted, without probing, Commissioner, to say that given what you testified earlier on, that your initial take on this matter was that the only assistance you were willing to give Sergeant Nkosi was to refer him to Mr. Matobela. Would it not have been, at least at this stage, also been prudent of you to adopt the same stance, given that you have also mentioned that you foresaw a potential conflict of interest if you get involved?
I took it that because Mr. Matobela, I know him for a long time. He worked with me for quite some time. He was actually at ease to say I must contact him, speak to Mr. Matobela on his behalf.
That's not my question, but let's park it for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's then proceed.
Just also a follow-up on the chairperson's question earlier, which was about why you did not speak to the CFO directly. You see what you say in paragraph 14, that you, through Sergeant Nkosi, you wanted to verify with
Yes.
the CFO. You've earlier in your statement said you have a professional relationship with the CFO.
Yes.
Can we take it then that you have sat in meetings with the CFO in that professional capacity? You've had some discussions with him. You knew where to find him if you wanted to find him.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Is that correct?
Yes. So it's not as if you didn't know each other and you didn't know where to find him if you wanted him.
I knew him, but the thing that I asked Sergeant Nkosi is because these people name drop the name of the CFO.
Yes.
And I know that he's close to the CFO. could be easier for him to verify that information.
Okay, all right. No, I just wanted to be clear
Yes.
that in your professional, in what you describe as your professional relationship with the CFO, you've had to deal with him on a face-to-face basis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
In organizations such as the municipality, Tshwane municipality, there's an internal system or the network where if you're looking for somebody's name and you want to know which department they are, their email address and phone number, you can easily do that, correct?
Correct.
And if you
Commissioner.
needed the CFO's phone numbers, you could just go on the system and they would be there.
Correct. I'm not sure if they are there. Mine are not there, the cell phone numbers.
Yours are not there. But if you wanted you wanted the CFO's phone numbers.
By
You could get
then,
them.
it never came to my mind because I'm no Sergeant Kosi.
We're not there yet.
Yes.
So for now, I'm just following up on Commissioner Baloy's question and the chair's question that
Okay.
if you wanted the CFO's phone numbers, all you needed to do was go in the system and you could find them.
I agree with you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
Just to round off this paragraph 14, just two follow-up questions. This Muzi and Sipo, were they from EFF themselves, as far as you know?
I can't tell whether they are EFF. I know them from student movement. The last time I know them, they were ANC members, so I'm not sure whether they've moved or what. So that's what puzzled me when they came to name drop, the EFF thing.
And did you ever confront them about this lie? What turned out to be a lie, eventually?
Since I never confronted them about it.
All right, let's move on to paragraph 15 then.
That you are allegedly involved.
Sorry, before you do that, so you say there that you, Sergeant Kosi, to verify with the CFO.
Yes.
He did do that. Did Sergeant Kosi do that?
Yes, he
And
told me that the CFO says he never met those people. He doesn't.
He doesn't know them?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So, sorry, just to piggyback on that question, is it about the people not knowing that they are from EFF, or is it the companies? What is it that he didn't know?
They claim to be, representing, the EFF, those people, to say these are bidders that they want to pursue. But I know that, within the city, I don't engage with politicians and so forth for reasons best known to me, so much as I was puzzled in that regard.
Okay, we will have to park this for now because I think the chats say something different, but let's park it for now.
Okay.
Let's move on to paragraph 15.
That you are allegedly involved in the political interference in tenders and the awarding of same by inquiring and providing confidential information relating to Sergeant Kosi. I think we have dealt with this one.
Perhaps, I think, please do read those two paragraphs into the record.
I am not involved in any politics nor interfere with any awarding of tenders, and there is no confidential information that I have ever shared with Sergeant Kosi. The process to award tenders in the city is informed by MFMA, as I indicated, Act 53 of 2003, and the SCM policy. I have not been directly or indirectly involved in the awarding of tenders.
Thank you. Let's proceed. Paragraph 17.
You endorse the close relationship that Sergeant Kosi had with Mr. Garrett Mnisi, implying that the relationship will be beneficial for you both. This is implied by WhatsApp communication sent to Sergeant Kosi, wherein you state, you should gear yourself to do so forever. my brother, Mfowethu is the best person to be with, uJuda wethu, who will do great things for us compared to ubaba wako. And further on, for July 2025, you sent a message to Sergeant Kosi stating, "Morning, Captain, I can see ukuthi you have captured Mfowethu, and he would not want you to leave him." I don't think it is correct, or we will be doing justice if we take one word in isolation and make a conclusion. In clarifying the entire statement, I want to indicate the context, the climax or the turning point of the statement, which I refer to, uvuthondaba, ngesizulu. It's on the word uJuda wethu, because I don't think the commission understood or anyone understood what it's meant by uJuda wethu, and it was concluded that capture in a sense of a state capture that I'm referring to, which is not true. uJuda wethu, meaning indumiso, it's praise. uJuda wethu, it does mean praise. It signifies, gratitude. So the capture in the sentence is referring to attention. It was in reference to the appearance of the background picture I was looking at, much as I further mentioned the issue of ubabako ongaseko, because he seemed very happy and at peace. I want to clarify also the wrong assertion that I was referring to the late Mr. Msibi. It is incorrect, as I have always referred to Mr. Msibi as Ubaba Kaxolani. And the father I'm referring to in the text is known to Sergeant Nkosi, but for purposes of protecting the family and revoking old wounds, I prefer not to say the name.
Commissioner Dlamini, I think with this paragraph here, I don't want to say you are pulling the wool over the eyes of the commission, but it doesn't make sense what you are saying. I think Sibalkulu must, when you just go back to a page before, and we're trying to get to the essence of your message.
Yes.
And what you call uvuthondaba. And you want this commission to believe that at least, and I'm not probing you, it's something to think about, to say it doesn't make sense what you are saying, to say that you want the commission to believe that when you mentioned uJuda wethu, you really meant indumiso or praise. I think we all know the story of Judah, at least if you were to just go to the biblical scriptures, what Judah is for. And for now, I would say Judah eventually became to be someone who's an enabler, someone who sets people free or to the better promised places. So it has to be, please, considered in that way. It cannot be that it was just a mere indumiso in this context. Would you please consider this paragraph?
I don't think so, Commissioner, because Judah wethu means indumiso yethu. That simply translates to that. Much as I'm saying, the commission never understood the context around the entire statement. It just take the first word, capture, without the entire statement. uJudah wethu, that's indumiso yethu.
And when you say the commission never understood, you meaning that Sergeant Nkosi never understood you, because he's the one who testified on this text.
I don't think he explained much on the statement. It was like he captured, he also indicated that I might be referring to attention. That's what he only understood, to say I've captured the attention of the CFO.
Again, for your benefit, at least I don't accept your word capture. Please reconsider it if you may, when you come back, in the context that you are using it here, to say that you are referring to an appearance of the background picture you were looking at. But if that's your final version, it's fine, but something that we'll definitely have to revisit when we come back. Remember, I said we're not asking probing questions,
Yes.
but at least I have to give you a fair opportunity to at least be alerted on issues that are of serious concern. And this paragraph, for me, it's of serious concern. And lastly, on that paragraph, this name that you're not prepared to say, when you come back, would you be prepared at least to share it amongst the commissioner?
Yeah, I can write it down to,
Okay.
to share amongst the commission, but not to say it publicly.
Yes. No. Are you
Yes.
prepared to write it down now?
I can.
Chair, with your permission, can we then pass a note to Commissioner Dlamini just to put the name down without sharing it with the public?
All right. In the meantime, Deputy Chief, I just want to refer to that part of the quotation where the question is asked. That seems to make a comparison between Ujuda and Ubaba Wako. So better things or great things are expected or appear to be expected of the Judah. And compared to Ubaba Wako, what did Ubaba Wako, whom you don't want to mention, what did he do which does not compare with what's expected of Ujuda?
As I indicated, Commissioner, I have a long history with Ngozi, and there was a father we consider to be, there was someone who played that role, so whom he never seemed to be happy
Also,
so much.
also meaning that person was not the biological father.
Yes. It's not a biological father.
Just a minute. I must say, if this is supposed to be a Nguni surname, perhaps let me ask, is it supposed to be a Nguni surname?
But I hope it is not being read.
Is it?
Yes.
No, is it supposed to be a Nguni
It
surname?
is.
Then the spelling cannot
Maybe
be
it
correct.
might be
the
the
spelling
spelling.
cannot be correct.
It might be the spelling, but it's a Nguni surname. I can't pronounce it. I can, off record, I can pronounce it.
You are Dlamini. How is it you cannot write a Nguni surname?
I'm not a closer person.
I chose to say Nguni because I was thinking between isiZulu and isiXhosa.
Yeah,
Well, maybe Siswati and others as well.
it's a closer.
Or isiXhosa. Phew, I can't even think what it's supposed to be. Maybe you'll vocalize it to us at some point.
No, I don't think it might be correct.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you. Just, I think I've lost my place now. There was something else I wanted to ask around Ubaba. Maybe let me leave it there, but at some point, rather than just give us the name, at some point, you may have to explain to us what this was about. If, we may discuss the question of how that's done. Perhaps I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
thank you. Deputy Commissioner, just so that I understand, your explanation of Ujuda Wetu, you say Indomiso praise, it signifies gratitude.
Yes.
So would I be understanding it correctly if I read that part of the WhatsApp exchange to say it is an expression of gratitude that Mkhwanazi will do great things for us?
Yes.
It must be that
Yes.
you're saying gratitude
Yes.
that Mkhwanazi will do
Yes.
great things for. And Mkhwanazi in this case is the CFO.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Mr. Musigiri.
Thank you, Chair. Deputy Commissioner Dlamini, is there anything you want to add on that paragraph, or are you satisfied?
No.
Can we then move to paragraph 18?
Yes. It is alleged that your involvement in corruption arises from WhatsApp communication exchange between yourself and Sergeant Kosi, which created the inference that you interfered with and exerted influence over the processing of invoices within the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department, in particular, your message stating in those transcripts. On the 4th of March 2024, I received a call from Sergeant Kosi indicating that he was with the CFO and he requested to speak to me. I then spoke to the CFO, who indicated that Mr. Mpofu is not getting help from the department with non-payment of invoices, that I should assist in resolving the matter. The next day, I talked to Mr. Mpofu and he forwarded me the emails he has been sending to the department, of which I was not copied. I then liaised with my section to get more information and discovered that indeed there were outstanding invoices for a period of 6 months which were not processed, starting from July 2024 to January 2024, Annexure F.
We
We dealt with this one.
Paragraph F, so we don't
Yes.
need to go there. Then let's go to paragraph 18.1.1.
It is alleged that you were influenced by Sergeant Kosi due to your personal relationship and proximity in escalating and assisting with invoices allegedly owed by the city to Gubi's 85 Solution in getting paid. Sergeant Kosi has never influenced me in relation to payment of invoices as indicated above. In fact, I was requested by the CFO and the COP office, see Annexure F of the COP office that also came regarding the same matter. I wish to refute the impression which is created that I am involved in business of influencing or facilitating payments. The statement is not true, and I say this because I'm the divisional head support and administration. Accounts payable function falls within my responsibilities. And as I indicated this previously, that Section 65 of the MFMA Act 53 of 2003 enjoins us to comply with strict timelines and to pay invoices within 30 days of the invoice date. Furthermore, the invoice in question were signed and authorized for payment by the relevant division, which is Assets Protection and Security Services, which confirmed that services were indeed rendered and payment were due.
And this at that time would have been DC Ballhays. Is that correct?
I'm not sure who could have signed, either Director Malachi or DC Boles, who could have signed those invoices, but they were authorized for that, confirmed that services were rendered when they brought them to accounts payable at our finance section.
Okay, now let's continue.
Remember, our section is not there to interrogate them on those invoices. Once someone, an official attached, he confirms to say these services were received accordingly and they were rendered. So he confirmed with his signature there. Ours is to verify that there's an SLA that we have loaded on subsystem, there's a contract in place, and also there's a budget in relation to this or on the subsystem.
Okay, no, thank you for that. Let's go to paragraph 19.
It is alleged you were involved in internal procurement process. This can be seen further via messages exchanged whereby Sergeant Kosi served as a conduit between you and the CFO. Such messages confirming that you were requested by Sergeant Kosi to assist with payment of invoices, and together with the CFO are managing payments via communication facilitated through Sergeant Kosi. I have never discussed any payment with Sergeant Kosi. I merely responded to the CFO inquiries which were made through Sergeant Kosi, and much as I indicated to say, the CFO the next day inquired through Sergeant Kosi. I responded through the request, of update by the CFO.
Let me take you to the very first part of this question. It says it is alleged you were involved in internal procurement processes. You address what relates to payments, and that's all you address. What about involvement in procurement processes?
Involvement in procurement processes. As I indicated that we assist the divisions in compilation of specification from the onset to serve at the bid specification committee. Once the bid...
I think again the subtext here relates to improper assistance. Not, for example, preparing bid specifications, involvement in BEC upon appointment by the relevant functionary, and so on and so on. No, I think the subtext is about improper involvement.
Improper involvement. Improper.
Yes.
Involvement. I don't think I'm improperly, Commissioner, involved, because it falls within my section to ensure that invoices get paid on time.
Did you ever act improperly with regard to procurement processes?
No.
Thank you. I see that it's exactly 12 midday, and at the beginning, Mr. Musigiri indicated that you have commitments and that we must sit until 12 today. We have been told that your commitments are physically exacting, that is, commitments over the weekend. Here's what we would like to find out. Would you, after those physically exacting commitments over the weekend, would you be in a position to be here on Monday? If you agree, it's actually better for you. You'll have this behind you sooner rather than later.
I will only be coming back on Monday, Commissioner.
Traveling back?
Yes.
From, as I understand, from Cape Town, is it?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I'm running Saturday and Sunday.
All right.
Chair, if okay.
Yes, Mr. Musigiri?
In fact, I'm in your hands, Chair. I just looked at what's left of the statement. It might take some time.
Yes. Deputy Chief, we are at 22 and the document runs up to 26. Is it possible just to finalize this, please?
Yes, Commissioner.
Let us do that.
We can do so.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Then, can we move to paragraph 20, but obviously starting with the question on page 22.
Yes. It is therefore alleged that your conduct give rise to an implication of irregularity in that you may have participated in securing payments to suppliers through the manipulation or rush of internal process, including the alleged increase of budget and target value to accommodate such payment. I have never conducted myself in any way that would have given rise to an implication of irregularity. All payments effected in this regard went through all the process before the final payment was released. The annual budget allocation is divided into 12 months and it is released on a quarterly basis through finance management tool. Upon the awarding of a tender, the contract is costed and allocated a contract value for the contract period. Any additional services affect the contract value in that such services were not included in the cost of the contract. Therefore, the contract value cap will be prematurely reached. In such circumstances, contract value may be increased to accommodate additional services. The increase in the monthly expenditure made it necessary to request budget release for the future quarterly budget. Invoices in question were signed and authorized for payment by the relevant division, Assets Protection and Security Services, which confirmed that services were indeed rendered and payment were due. So much as I alluded previously to say our budget is divided into quarters, you can request sometimes, to increase the contract value to ensure that you process, invoices within that quarter with the budget of the next quarter, as I indicated with the earlier example I made with regard to the issue of dogs attending. Then the value is high, you need to request, to an increase of the contract value.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
It is further alleged that at the request of Sergeant Kosi, you assisted his brother in securing a tender, including facilitating the qualification of companies that had previously been disqualified, thereby suggesting undue influence over procurement outcome, and further revealed internal confidential information regarding the requirements for the tender. The argument that I have assisted Sergeant Kosi's brother to secure a tender is false and misleading. I referred Sergeant Kosi to Mr. Matovela to assist him in compilation of his tender document. I was not involved in any procurement stage where I could have possibly influenced the awarding of a tender to Sergeant Kosi or his brother. I deny that I have divulged internal confidential information to Sergeant Kosi. I did not know of any company that was disqualified and could not have had any influence over procurement outcome for the same reason I advanced in paragraph 16. Information referred to in the transcript was not for purpose of tendering in the city of Tshwane as testified before this commission by Sergeant Kosi.
Just on that last sentence, in your own words, which municipality would this have been then?
As Sergeant Kosi indicated that there was a tender in Mpumalanga that they were busy with, and on those notes that were coming from Mr. Matovela, if you go through them, you'll realize that there's a requirement for firearm, and I don't think a tender for land invasion required firearm in that regard. So I can believe that it was not for the land invasion tender because there's no firearm requirements in the tender for land invasion.
That was not my question, and I think Sergeant Nkosi did give his explanation, whether that was acceptable or not, because he was referring to the malls and some things were not adding up. For example, to say you need a 5-ton truck to protect a mall. But what I'm asking you is that according to you, if this was not for Tshwane municipality, which municipality or entity was this tender for?
I wouldn't tell whether it was for which municipality or provincial government or which municipality.
What you are certain about it was not for Tshwane? Is that what you say?
That's the information Mr. Matovela gave me to pass it to Sergeant Nkosi that he required. I never questioned him.
Let's then move on to the next paragraph.
It is further alleged that the communication received from Sergeant Nkosi wherein you were provided with details of job applicants for various positions within the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department as well as within the city give rise to an implication of your involvement in recruitment-related processes. The recruitment process in the City of Tshwane is governed by the recruitment policy. Applicants are invited to apply electronically in the Tshwane recruitment portal. The system is managed by the Group Human Capital. I had no access to the said system, and I could have not possibly influenced the process. I was not involved in any recruitment process, and I can confirm that Sergeant Nkosi shared with me the confirmation letters of various applicants. However, I could not assist him because of the reason mentioned in paragraph 30 above, as I was not involved during that recruitment process.
Okay, let's...
But I think I need to further state these commissioners to say they were indicated as confidential document. They are not confidential document. These are confirmation letters that when I apply, I get as a person to say they confirm I have applied in that regard. And I should indicate that you will get a lot of inquiries when such applications come to play. When the adverts start, you'll get people calling or sending the advert, whether confirm, whether is it true, is it a bogus advert, or whatever the case it might be. The material conditions in our country have made it, such that you'll receive, a lot of inquiries. You'll get it from colleagues, family, whoever, with the hope that you might assist them. So these are just, confirmation letters that, get sent through to applicants.
Maybe remembering the evidence incorrectly, Sergeant Nkosi sent you certain information for you to confirm, or with whatever assistance he required. Did you in turn share any letters or information of applicants with him?
When he said I must check with him, much as I indicate to say, applicants becomes disparate, Commissioner. For instance, let's say when the recruitment process starts, they hear that a certain number has been called at the college to come either for physical evaluation. Those who have not yet received SMSs, they will either call, inquire to say, we are not called. Then I'll check to say, what is the process? Then I'll be told they are being called in batches. I'll convey such information to those people to say they are calling either from surname A to E. It goes in batches and so forth. You'll get such information where people request you to say, can you confirm either, everyone will be called or what? I'll confirm everyone will be called. those who can run, qualify, do whatever, then they'll go to the next stage and such.
The direct answer to my question is you have not shared with Sergeant Nkosi any information of applicants?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and let's move to paragraph 31.1 on page 25.
Such information being confidential and ordinarily restricted to officials within the recruitment was shared with you, thereby suggesting that you were being influenced to interfere or assist. The assertion in the
I think
above...
it's intervene.
Yeah.
Intervene, not interfere.
Or intervene.
Yes.
Or assist. The assertion in the above question is not correct and is misleading in that it paints a wrong picture that I was influenced to intervene in HR-related matters. The information which was shared by Sergeant Nkosi is not confidential or restricted to officials within recruitment. These are confirmation letters forwarded to applicants who applied for position in the city. They don't reside with HR. Confirmation letter for receipt of application are not confidential and restricted to recruitment official. They are automated and are sent to all applicants who applied as confirmation of receipt of application. The application may require or share. The applicants may inquire or share them at their own will.
I suppose the difficulty with this, and we can discuss later, is that it is not the applicants themselves who are asking or making a follow-up in this case, but it's a third party. Did you want to say something to that?
Yeah, perhaps we can engage on that at a later stage because, as I indicated, their parents will share with me to say, my son has applied, can you check for me? Which is not an applicant. So maybe we can engage on that one.
Yes. Let's go to paragraph 31.2.
It is also alleged that you engaged with and assisted in addressing inquiries relating to these applicants, which created the inference that you exercised or were perceived to exercise influence in respect of the recruitment process when you allegedly confirm you will check. It should be placed on record that I receive a lot of inquiries either to verify the authenticity of the job advert or other processes during recruitment. E.g., if the email received were from our HR or bogus email, and I do assist with confirming such, there is no influence that I exercise in recruitment process, nor preferential treatment that I have given to others.
All right, continue to the last paragraph.
Thus indicative of you being allegedly involved in the unauthorized disclosure of confidential recruitment information as well as in potential irregular involvement in hiring process. I have never been involved in the unauthorized disclosure of confidential recruitment information as well as in potential irregular involvement in hiring process. The recruitment policy places a duty on duly appointed panel members to declare interest and sign the confidentiality clause during selection process up until the appointment are finalized.
Chair, that will be the end of at least this leg of the testimony where we have gone through the both statements of Deputy Commissioner Dlamini, and perhaps this will be an opportune time to adjourn until a date that has to be arranged.
So a subpoena will be issued for the Deputy Chief's next appearance.
Indeed so, Chair.
Thank you. Deputy Chief
Commissioner.
of Police, you will next appear on a date that will be indicated in a subpoena that will be issued in due course. Thank you for now.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Let us adjourn until 9:30 on Tuesday, and that's because the witness that was scheduled for Monday is suddenly not available. Let's adjourn.
As Advocate Lekgetho is helping you, Advocate Riley, might I
Yes,
remind you, yes, as Advocate Lekgetho is assisting you, might I take this opportunity to remind you that you are testifying before us, firstly, because you have been involved, among others, in the preparation of a report on which Advocate Batoyi relied when she made certain requests or recommendations. And secondly, because you seek to assist us in this fact-finding process. Do you understand that?
I do, ma'am. Madam Chair, I do.
We are not here to victimize you. We have no reason whatsoever to do that. We appreciate that you are here to assist us, and we require that you understand that to be the case as you answer the questions.
I do, ma'am.
We verily expect and honestly expect you to assist us in this fact-finding process.
I understand that, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Now, Advocate Riley, did you find the document I was referring to?
Is that the statement of Johan Wessel Boysen?
Yes, it's the answering affidavit. Now, that affidavit was deposed to in the course of or in response to an application that was brought by Mr. Mkhize, who was the chairperson of KwaMaphumulo Taxi Association, wherein, amongst others, he sought to interdict the police from assaulting or killing him. You recall that application? It was part of the docket. In fact, this affidavit in the Durban Central case is Annexure A92. Did you see that affidavit?
That is correct.
And if you read,